So I was very, very excited to check out Sonic the Hedgehog 3, primarily because my very first video game on my very first console was Shadow the Hedgehog back when I was like 6 years old. It was the coolest thing in the world. The fact that Shadow said, "damn, not here," every single time he died was just absolutely insane to me. So when I heard that they were making a live action Sonic movie, I knew that Shadow had to be part of it in some way. At the end of the first movie, I was hoping, I was praying, I was like, please tease Shadow, please, for the love of God. They didn't do it. I was like, fine, whatever. They made a second one. Again, I was like, please, and they answered my prayers. It came out in like, what, 2021? 2022? I can't remember. It was worth the wait, though. It was worth the wait. I was so thrilled with how they treated Shadow in this movie. I thought they did a phenomenal job with the character, with Keanu Reeves. You're a little bit worried because Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is still a children's movie in a lot of ways. It's still kind of geared towards the younger audience. And Shadow is a very, very dark character. And I was definitely worried how they were going to balance that out. Because I don't know if kids really want to see Shadow mourn the loss of a girl, like a little girl. But they did it. They did it. And I'm so incredibly proud. Now, this is a review of the film. I'm not going to get into spoilers. I'm not going to talk about the ending, the post-credit scene. There is a post-credit scene. It's absolutely unhinged in the best way possible. But overall, this movie was fantastic. I thought they just did such a great job. The parts that I did struggle with a little bit, in the first two movies, I felt like maybe Sonic was a little bit too over the top. I actually thought Sonic was at his best in this film. I thought the balance of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles was phenomenally done. I felt like the parents, Tom and his wife, they didn't overpower, they didn't overtake the story. It wasn't really about them. They were just there, which is what I preferred. The surprise for me was Jim Carrey's Eggman was a little too much. I mean, in the movie, the whole villain arc, plot point, whatever you want to call it, the villain of the movie is Dr. Eggman and his long-lost grandfather, the professor who helped kind of experiment on Shadow when he first crash-landed on Earth. That the Jim Carrey playing both of them, the professor, his grandfather, and Dr. Eggman was a little bit too much in the sense of it was just so over the top, and there was two of them. And yes, same actor, but there was two of them just bouncing off each other. And it was almost kind of jarring when it was so serious with Shadow, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh right, this is a kid's movie. So that was my only really critique. Not that Jim Carrey did a bad job, because Jim Carrey is a fantastic comedic actor. He really is so brilliant. It's just when you take his energy and you put it with this story, that's what I mean by jarring. It almost feels like it doesn't fit, but it did find its rhythm, and it did kind of settle for the final act of the movie, which the final act of this film was absolutely insane. I love the action sequences. I did wish the Sonic Shadow showdown was just a little bit more. I just wanted a little bit more oomph from it. Maybe I felt a little bit unsatisfied at the end of it, but I still felt like just visually it was fantastic. Just the way they utilized the characters, and they, shoot the characters, and their movements, the way they fight, their powers. It's just so brilliantly well done. And considering where we started with Sonic the Hedgehog, with a bad character design, wondering, is this just a cash out? Are they really passionate about this character? Do they really care? But when they took a step back and they're like, no, we want to get this right. We're sorry that we kind of went our own way with the design. And they went and they created something better, the way it was supposed to be, more authentic to what Sonic and who Sonic is and what he looks like. Once they did that, you kind of build that trust again, and they've only rewarded it with this trilogy. It's obviously not the best trilogy of all time, but what Sonic the Hedgehog does, which I think is a complete rarity, most movie franchises can't do this. It's hard to name multiple that have done this. Sonic the Hedgehog gets better and better and better. It started with the first film. The second one was better than the first movie. Now the third one is better than the second and the first movie. That's so rare. how often do you hear them saying like, oh, well, it'll never be better than the original. It'll never be better than the first movie. It's such a rarity. I think like there's only a few movies you can say like Shrek 2 is better than the original. The Dark Knight was better than the original. Spider-Man 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Revenge of the Sith, Empire Strikes Back. I know I just listed a good amount, but that really might be it. Honestly, there's not that many out there because it is a rarity. And I don't think I can name one where it did go, the first one was succeeded by the second one, and then the third one succeeded that. I don't think there is a trilogy that's done that. I mentioned How to Train Your Dragon 2. Again, first one was great, second one was fantastic, third one was kind of a step below. Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi trilogy. Spider-Man 1 was good. Spider-Man 2 was fantastic. Spider-Man 3 was still good, but it was nowhere near, Spider-Man 2. Or the Dark Knight trilogy. Batman Begins, good. Dark Knight, amazing. Dark Knight Rises, definitely below Dark Knight. It's so rare, and the fact that they did it was incredible. It was incredible. I would give this movie a 7.58 out of 10, which may not seem like a high rating, but for this movie, for who it's targeted for, I think it's an incredibly high rating, and I think 8 out of 10 is, I think, a great rating and a fair rating for it. If they just kind of figured out that balance, it probably easily could have been one of the best, most slept on movies of the year. But like I said, I struggle with that balance a little bit. And I do feel like in a lot of it, they could have given me more and it could have been fleshed out. It is remarkably short. With credits, it's an hour and 40 minutes, which again, it's because of the audience it's geared towards too. But anyway, that is my take on Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Now, this is video 1 of 100. So I hope if you're still listening, you're subscribing, you're sticking around, because I am attempting to do the 100 videos in 100 days challenge. YouTube Shorts, that doesn't count. So bear with me. Hopefully we can do that together. I think we can. It'll be interesting to see how well it goes. But be sure to like, subscribe. Let me know if you want to deep dive into that post-credit scene at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And be on the lookout for some Sonic the Hedgehog Easter egg content. And you can find that on any social platform, Instagram at Big Screen Bearcon, TikTok for however long that lasts, or it probably will be in YouTube Shorts as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. From your movie friend, Big Screen Bearcon.